A little more Texas political nonsense for you today. Governor Greg Abbott has announced that he intends to expand the current university level DEI ban down to kindergarten through 12th grade public schools in Texas. I don't think this comes as a surprise to anyone who lives in Texas, especially since this appears to be a key agenda item for the upcoming Trump administration, and a focus area for the Republican Party and MAGA in particular. In related Texas educational nonsense, the Cypress Fairbanks School District, which is in the one of the suburbs of Houston, has announced new regulations which require that teachers and administrators out transgender students to their parents. In other words, if a student self-identifies to a teacher or administrator as transgender, either by openly stating that they are transgender or by asking to be referred to by a name other than the one that appears on their school intake forms, or by asking that they be referred to by a different set of pronouns, the teachers and administrators are required to inform the parents. This is similar to a requirement which was put in place last year in Katy School District. That requirement has since resulted in the outing of 36 students to their parents. I think this is incredibly dangerous. Nobody knows better than the student himself or herself how the parents will react to that news. And if a transgender child has not informed his or her parents, there is likely a very good reason for that. Conservative Christianity has a strong hold in Texas, as does the Republican Party and MAGA. And I know that there are transgender children who do not inform their parents and do not want their parents informed because their parents view being transgender as a choice and as a sin, as something that is bad and wrong. And these students choose not to inform their parents because they know that they would be punished for being transgender, that they would have privileges taken away, that they maybe would be forced to go to conversion therapy or do intensive sessions with their, pastor or minister to try to correct something which isn't a wrong. That it doesn't need to be corrected. That if you are transgender, you are transgender. That's who you are. I don't view it any differently than someone telling me when I wake up tomorrow that I need to pretend to be a man and take on a man's name and dress like a man and walk like a man, and then punishing me when I fail to be able to successfully live my life in that way. And given the current climate, the fact that we have a new administration coming in on Monday, which is very hostile to the LGBTQ community, I think you're also creating an additional risk of self-unaliving. The transgender community already has an incredibly high rate of self-unaliving. And to add to that is barbaric, quite frankly. I have never and will never out a child to his or her parents. I trust that child's judgment as to whether or not it's safe for their parents to know. I'm not a teacher. I don't work with children. But at the same time, this is not a theoretical for me. This is not theoretical. But I have never and I will never out a child. It's wrong to do that. I think also that these requirements send a message to transgender students that there is something wrong with them. These requirements also send a message to other students, cisgender students, that there is something wrong with being transgender, and they normalize, in a way, bullying people who are transgender by virtue of the message that being transgender is wrong and that parents need to be informed about it, just like a parent needs to be informed if if a child assaults another student. I mean, I just can't believe this is 2025, and I wish that there were a way to get every transgender individual, child or adult, out of Texas, because I don't even know what to say. I mean, if you are transgender or if you have a child that is transgender and you live in Texas, I don't know what to say other than I am incredibly sorry, and just upsetting. Anyway, I don't know whether or not TikTok's going to go away because that seems to change every 5 minutes, but I am on the tube of you if you want to follow me over there, and the link is in my profile. Thanks.